Hello everyone. Today on the channel we are doing something a little bit different. So on Monday I believe we built this Boros Taunter deck for standard, which did pretty good. It's just for fun. So now we're trying to change it to play it in Historic. So we want to see if this can do some damage in Historic. So what the deck does is basically is trying to keep creatures off the board for as long as possible. So we have two lightning strike and 4 lightning strike for justice strike for early game. We have Lavabrink Venturer to help us block, and he can also attack if he gets protection from the correct color. We have a flying goat, which is of course good with burn spells, and of course he can attack. Deafening Clarion to keep more creatures off the board. Storm's Wrath to keep more creatures off the board. You can see this deck basically just wants to murder all creatures. Haktos, which sometimes has protection from our own spells, sometimes he doesn't. Solar Blaze to keep more creatures off the board. Brash Taunter, which is our main guy, he can block for days as long as the opponent doesn't have trample. And whatever damage we deal to him, he just hits the opponent in the face, and he can fight other creatures and hit the opponent in the face. We have 2 Chandra, which is our alternate win condition, and we have 1 Magma Quake, which we are testing because it's in Historic, which basically deals X damage to each creature without flying, so it will hit our Brash Taunter, which means the X damage will hit the opponent. And that's the other reason we have Storm's Wrath and Deafening Clarion, because they both work with Brash Taunter and Capridor, of course. And aside from that, we have a bunch of lands. How many lands do we have? 8, 16, 25 lands. Okay, we don't need 25 lands. We should have 24. So something is amiss here. Probably take out 1 mountain. So early game we have plays. 3rd turn we have plays. 4th turn we have plays. So we are doing all good. We might, I don't know, let's try 1 more Chandra. So Historic does have a lot of aggro decks, mono blue, flyers, and there is also, of course, the goblin deck. However, we can't do much against control decks. So we are not sure exactly what is the meta game. Why do we have 5 Brash Taunters? I mean 3 of them. It's really weird. What is this deck? Looks like it's a ramp deck. Of course, they have ramp decks as well. We do need to draw lands here. Is this like a standard deck? Let's just kill this ahead of time. We do need to get lands though. Otherwise we don't have much chance of fighting against this deck. Yep, of course no lands. We do have 24 lands because we just took a look at the deck. So we should be drawing them, but of course we're not drawing them. What a fine way to start our first game testing. By being a Mana's Goodbye Arena. Oh, whoop-de-doo, we got our 3rd land on the 4th turn. Yes, they are probably confused what's going on with our goat. But I mean, they have 6 mana already. So they should be casting something big. Probably Nisa or something, we have no idea. But they have a Triome as well. Black, they're playing 4 colors? Shatter the Sky, okay, well that's 1 card to deal with this guy. And of course we are not drawing lands. As usual, because Magic is a pleasure to play when you have 24 lands but you're not drawing them. So we're basically at the mercy of the opponent to do something now. I guess they are waiting to get enough cards in the graveyard to start bringing this back, which we can't do anything about right now. Scape Shift. So they're gonna get Field of the Dead. Okay, so they sucked all their lands. What is going on with their deck? I mean, we haven't played Historic lately, that's what we're trying to get into it now and test. See what the meta game is. So that's why we're playing this random deck. Okay. So what's gonna happen when we Deafening Clarion all these zombies on our turns? I mean, they don't have haste. Okay. I mean, our deck runs a lot of board wipes, including this one for next turn if they manage to do some more stuff. I guess they can get back Uro. It's the bad thing with our deck is we don't have exile effects, so we can't exile Uro, which really sucks. But if we cast this guy, we can block it for a long time because Uro does not have a trample, I believe. Of course, we do need to get our 5th land, 5th mana, to cast this guy. Nope. Okay, in this case, let's wipe the board again. Why is it that we cannot get our 5th land? How many lands does the opponent still have left? They put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the graveyard. They have 9 in play, that's 17 lands, so they don't have that many lands left in their whole deck. So we can survive a few more turns. I mean, we do have more board wipes. I mean, we should have drawn our 5th land long time ago. There we go. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna cast him to block Uro. I don't think they have counter spells in the deck because it's a combo deck. Do they have bounce? No, they don't have bounce. They're just gonna try to make more tokens. Which is unfortunate for us because we use, although we have a lot more. We have 10 board wipes in our deck, so we could draw a lot more. And looks like we do need to draw a board wipe next turn, otherwise we are dead again. Because 2 Justice Strikes doesn't work in just killing 2 things. Oh, they have Teferi, of course, because why wouldn't they have Teferi? Oh! We got it. Unfortunately, we can't attack Teferi to kill him because we have to block against Uro. Unfortunately. What is going on? 2 scape shifts? I mean, how many lands do they even have in that deck? They probably played 25 and they've already played like 20 lands. They have 5 lands maybe? 5 lands left in the deck? I guess 5 lands would be enough to make another maybe 6 tokens or 4 tokens or something, which would be enough to kill us. So they have no more lands in the deck. And of course they make a million tokens at the end of turn. Okay, so this is what Historic is all about. This is ridiculous. I mean, we board wiped them 3 times. We board wiped them 3 times. Okay, of course we got mana screwed like crazy. We should not have been in this situation. I mean, we took the extra damage for absolutely no reason. We should have been able to board wipe them on the 3rd turn with Clarion. But still, they scape shifted 2 times in the game. So that is the problem with our deck. We are not fast. We are a mid-range deck, but we don't lock the game. So it means it's very difficult for this deck to deal with mid-range plays. However, that's what we have all the board wipes for. I guess, why 2 Brash Taunters again? Why? Like, I mean, why? And why we stuck? Usually we get a 2-land hand and then we don't draw the 3rd land again. Which we do need. At least we do have a remover for 1 creature and then next creature and then next creature. These are mostly in here because of Phyrexian Obliterator, which I'm not sure if people still play, but these two kill the Obliterator and the opponent has to sack 5 permanents. So if you actually play against black, we have to keep this back. Playing mono green? Of course we're not drawing lands. Just like the previous game. At least we don't care about these games because we're just testing. Otherwise it would be extremely annoying to not be drawing... Actually, do we care if this hits us for 2? No. Hopefully we can Deafening Clarion next turn. If we draw the land. In our 24 land deck where we are struggling to draw 3 lands out of 10 cards. Okay, hit us for 2 and let's hope we draw the land so we can Deafening Clarion everybody. Nope, no land of course. Second game mana screwed in a row. Thank you Arena for helping with the testing so much. Sure, cast this guy. Sure, pump the other guy. Anytime we can get Deafening Clarion. I guess we have to kill I don't know, kill this guy. So we take 3 less damage. Or not. Oh look, we drew our 3rd lands. Congratulations. Actually, let's just get our combo out. Let's just get this guy out. Yeah, our opponent's confused now. They know what's coming up. This is a strange mono green deck. It's exploding mono green deck. I mean, we do have Solar Blaze as soon as they get 4 mana, so we're not really worried about the creatures. They all have like even casting costs and stuff. No, we don't want to block. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to Deafening Clarion here. So our guy gets bigger and we can attack and gain some life. And let's hope they don't make a token so they only attack us for 4. And next time we can Solar Blaze so our goat gets even bigger and we wipe their board. Or we can cast our Taunter because they don't have... I guess this guy has trample, this guy doesn't have trample. It depends, if they play another... That's not a creature. If they play another creature, we could Solar Blaze to wipe their board. If not, we can wait 1 turn. And we can keep hitting them in the air. The problem is they keep gaining 2 life a turn. And we have no way of killing this. Actually, we are not gaining life. We only gained life last turn because of Deafening Clarion. So never mind. We might cast a Brash Taunter to block and deal some more damage to them. There's no point to Solar Blaze now. We have to wait for them to get more creatures out. I'm pretty sure they have no way of killing this guy. in a mono green deck. They can kill the flying goat, but they can't kill this guy. So now we are not worried if they get a token out, because this doesn't have trample. So if we block it, they're just gonna take 5 to the face for no reason. So I guess next time we can solo brace to make this bigger. That's fine. Ilia also doesn't have trample. If they attack us, they're gonna take 6 to the face. We're gonna have to block, which means we're gonna take 4 damage because this has trample. But they're also taking a lot of damage to the face. I think mono green is not gonna do good against our deck. Why do you keep... Oh, I guess because of the trample. Okay. Do they have another run through to finish us off? Yeah, of course, because why wouldn't they have 2 run through in their hand? Wow, ridiculous. Okay. So I guess we're not meant to win that game either. From the beginning with the mana screw and then the opponent having the most important card. I mean, run through is the only one that would have allowed them to win the game, because it deals damage straight to the face if the creature has trample. Any other card would not have done anything for them. So far we are not doing good with this deck. However, the main problem is the mana screw. On both games we got stuck on 2 lands. We were not able to draw our 3rd land. That is the main problem. The games would obviously have been different if we actually dropped our 3rd land on time, which is why we're running 24 lands, so we don't miss a 3rd land drop. Come on, let us start and get our planes. We could try to play maybe 1 more Fabled Passage, maybe 3 instead of 2, because we have no first turn plays usually. We start from the 2nd turn. So far this deck is not doing as good as we expected. But again, due to the mana screw problem, he hasn't been really good for us, because we can't really evaluate how the deck does. Also, the opponent managed to draw 2 of the cards that is the only card in their deck that can actually help them win. We would have won next turn. I guess we should have Solar Blazed that turn to kill that, but such is life. Hindsight is always perfect. And of course this game we get lands. Probably gonna get Mana Flooder at this point, because after 2 mana screw game with the same deck with no changes, same amount of lands. Another Field of the Deck, okay. It's so surprising this card is still in the format, to be honest. I thought they would have banned it a long time ago. Let's just get Haktos out. Protection from other than 2. Okay, so he's not gonna die to Storm's Wrath, because he... Of course they have Shatter the Sky on the 4th turn, because why wouldn't they not have it? Unbelievable. They're playing like a 3 or 4 color deck and they still manage to get the 2 white on the 4th turn. And we are obviously playing 2 color deck and we can't get our second color to save our life. And people say Magic is fair. Let us continue. Do they have another Shadow the Sky? Okay, the zombie token don't actually do anything because we're gonna wipe the board next turn. So they can make as many zombies as they want. Maybe this deck is not running Scale Shift. Yes, we want to hit this guy so he gets bigger. And yes, we want to hit everything for 4 so he gets even bigger. The only problem is with the other deck that was running Scale Shift and they managed to play Scale Shift twice and Teferi to cast it as an instant. Like they just went for everything. Another board wipe? Well, I guess it's time to make Chandra emblems and hope to win that way. Interesting, okay. So I guess our deck really has no chance in Historic from test playing. That's what we guess. Wow, so many field of the decks. It's obviously really annoying card to have in the format. I'm not sure why I mean, we played this like what, our second or third field of the dead decks? And of course they have Wugin, because why wouldn't have Wugin in a field of the deck 4-color deck? So it's pretty much game over, I think. I mean, we get one more turn to Storm's Wrath. But they do have 2 cards in play, and the Giant, and 3 fields of the dead. I mean, we do have 2 emblems working for us, but we need to survive like 4 more turns. This is ridiculous, like every land they play makes like 3 tokens. Well, at least we can block the Giant. So they can't attack us with the Giant. If they do, they are dead. Oh, if we untap, we can fight the Giant and kill them. So we have to survive this turn. Ah, that's pretty funny. I think we can survive because their zombies don't have haste. They only have 3 zombies and a Giant. What? Are they crazy? Well, looks like we get to win one game in Historic. We thought we were gonna face the Goblin deck, because a lot of people playing the mono red Goblin deck, but we get 3 fields of the deck instead. 3 decks that play fields of the deck. Alrighty then, we have our Brash Taunters in our hand again. I mean, I know we have 4, but why are we drawing them every single opening hand? And multiples too. It's crazy. Incredibly crazy. What is this deck? Another weird combo deck? Where are the mono red goblin decks? Are people not playing those? Okay, so we're playing against a control deck, which is what we said we don't really want to face, because we can't really beat control decks. Our deck was not built to beat control decks. Are they getting mana screwed? No? Okay. I guess we can use this to get our planes. Let's get this boy out, see if they counter it. He has protection from everything except 3 casting cost. Unfortunately for us, the Teferi is 3 casting cost. And considering this is a blue-white control deck, they probably have Teferi in the deck. So they can cast it and bounce our guy, which totally sucks. But I guess there's nothing else we can do about it. Well, he is 4 mana, so we have protection from him. So he can't phase it out. So we also have protection from our Storm's Wrath. But we just take out the Teferi first. And then we get our Brash Taunter out. I guess they can +1. But that doesn't do anything. They're still gonna take 6 damage. And our main boy is gonna come out. Although he's not so good against control decks, as we said before, because control decks don't have enough creatures. And I don't think we can... we can't fight Haktos. Because we can't target it. This guy needs to target. What is the opponent doing? Okay, another Haktos. Okay, so let's just attack with everybody. Since we can't have 2 Haktos on the board. Seal away. They're gonna seal away our goblin. Because Haktos has protection from 2. I guess that's fine. We do have another one. We do have another goblin. And we can actually deal 4 + 3, 7 damage to him next turn. Why does this look like a standard deck? Looks like a standard deck with Search for Ascanta and Seal Away. What is this supposed to do? I mean, it can't block Haktos, and it could block this guy, but that doesn't do anything. They still take 1 damage. No, big boy Teferi is coming out, but not this turn. So they're gonna get it out next turn. So we might have to see if there's a way for us to finish them off on our turn. There might be a way if we Storm's Wrath. So they take 4. And then we Lightning Strike our goblins, so they take 3 more. And we attack them for 7. So they could have a counter spell. So I think it doesn't matter if we Lightning Strike our goblin or if we Lightning Strike them. They do have 2 mana for a counter spell. So they have to counter this. If they don't, it's game over. Oh, they don't have the counter spell. Okay. How much fun was that? So we did manage to win 2 games in a row after we lost the first 2 games. But granted, the Scale Shift deck was out of control. And other field decks, I don't know how we can beat the field decks. to be honest. If they don't have Scape Shift, obviously, especially if they don't cast it twice in one game, we have a chance at beating them, because our creatures usually don't die to removal. At the same time, we haven't drawn the 3 mana guy. 2 Chandras? We haven't drawn the 3 mana Venturer any of these games, which is really good because he needs to block and he needs to attack to deal a little bit of damage to the opponent. We have had a Brash Taunter in every single opening hand. This is the 5th game, I believe. Which is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, we do have 4 in the deck. We also only have 3 Chandras. And we drew her almost every single game as well. It's very strange. These opening hands are very suspicious. No, we don't need any more lands. We got 4 lands already. So we kept a 3 land hand, and the next 2 cards were also lands, which is also suspicious. So the opponent is playing something we haven't seen before. What? Oh, it's another combo deck. It's another combo deck. I guess we might as well kill this now. And get Haktos next turn. Why? Why do we need another Brash Taunter? Protection other than 2. Okay, 2 is not good because they have a lot of 2 casting cost creatures, including this. So we did put 1 land at the bottom, otherwise we would have had 5. Of course they cast another 2 casting cost creature, because why wouldn't they? Ah, this is our luck. Oh, we got another Haktos. Okay, so let's attack and trade. Come on, block it. Okay. So let's hope we draw our 5th land, because we put 1 on the board. Okay, now it's 3. Do they have 3 casting cost creatures? Maybe not. However, we do need to draw another land. We are very sorry we put 1 on the bottom. Zombie tokens are fine because tokens can't block Haktos. There we go. So let's get our main boy out. Let's attack with Haktos. And then next time we can get another one of our main boys out. Because they're very hard to kill and they are not legendary, so we can have to. Opponent is just, I don't know what they're doing. Eventually they're gonna gain some life. But I mean, if we get another mana and we get Chandra, we can wipe their board. We can wipe their board. This thing doesn't trample. Unless they have an enchantment that gives it trample, then we are in trouble. Oh, of course they have one. What? Are they gonna fight our goblin? If they fight our goblin, they die. They can't target because this guy is 3 mana. Oh yes, they can target Haktos. Okay. I don't think they wanna fight the goblin. So Do we die first? I think we die first and then the goblin triggers and deals damage to the opponent. Or does the trigger ability go first? No, we die first. And then he triggers. Yeah, so there's nothing we could have done. Absolutely nothing. We didn't have another lightning strike or anything to hold back for mana. We didn't draw that. We managed to draw 2 Chandras and 2 goblins. I don't know why the opening hands have been so heavy-handed on the high cost creatures. That was ridiculous. We could have easily dealt with that guy with lightning strike. After they cast it, of course, we would have kept the mana back for lightning strike. So let's continue with this testing. Oh, now we have low casting cost creatures, but only 2 lands. And we're playing against goblins. And we're not drawing the 3rd land. Because of course we will get mana screwed against goblins, which should be one of the easiest decks for us to beat. Because look at our hand. But like we said, of course we're going to get mana screwed against goblins. Because why should our testing go? Yeah, let's just kill this guy so they don't get to play whatever's on top of the library for free. Come on, 3rd land. I mean, we are not really in trouble. They only have 1 creature. I guess they're gonna make 2 more creatures on the board. That's fine. Okay, now we're in trouble. Because of course we keep the 2 land hand, and of course we don't draw any lands for the next 2 turns, or 3 turns now. We went straight from mana flood to straight up mana screw. What is the chance of us drawing another land next turn? I mean, it's pretty certain every single time we draw 2 land hand, it's pretty certain we're not going to get a land in the next couple of turns. Bye bye goblins. I guess next time we can get our goat out, so we can prepare for another Deafening Clarion. Of course, we're not drawing our 4th land. So let's go for double goat. Yeah, why have 4 lands when we can not have 4 lands? So next time we can Deafening Clarion, make our goats big, and fly over the goblins and gain some life and deal some damage. They can't burn our goats. They don't die to non-combat damage. So I'm done. Actually, we're not even sure why the goblin deck is still playing at this point after seeing this. These goats. They can't win against. Sure, 3 lands, why not? So let's wipe the board, make our goats bigger and gain some life, and now it should be game over. I mean, the opponent should consider this point. Yep. Of course we managed to beat. I mean, our deck is built to beat creature decks. goblin decks, and even mono green. We should have beat the mono green deck if we didn't screw up with wiping the board. We got too greedy, and then we got beat by the two ram throughs, which was crazy. I mean, if they only had one ram through, they would not have killed us, and we would have won the next turn. But of course, they had to get lucky and have two ram throughs in their hand, and we didn't wipe the board on our turn like we should have. The only decks we can't deal with are control decks and the ramp decks to a certain point. Why Brash Taunter every single opening hand for 6 games? No, we're not gonna keep 2 planes. Sure. We'll take the 4 land hand. Oh, mono black. And of course we draw Brash Taunter, because he must be in every single opening hand or first draw or whatever. So the problem with mono black is they can actually kill our goat. And they probably have a obliterator, which is not good. Let's get our goat out, because we can Storm's Wrath next turn. Opponent is probably confused about our goat. I mean, we have a couple of cards to deal with the obliterator if they play it. But if they play it this turn, we're basically dead, unless we can top deck Justice Strike or the other card. And they are playing mono black, so it's pretty safe to assume. No, they're playing like a standard version of mono black. Okay, so let's Storm's Wrath. We did draw this. This card is pretty good too. We have to wait until we got more lands. What? Everything is gone. No, don't kill our goat. Come on, we want to have a huge goat. That's kind of our win condition. I guess we can get the Brash Taunter out next turn for blocking purposes. Of course they have Grasp of Darkness and Eliminate, because why wouldn't they have exactly what works against our decks? Unbelievable. And of course we would be drawing lands at this point, because why wouldn't we? So let's get this guy out to block. We can block this. I guess next time we can get a second one out and then we can double block it. We do have more board wipes. Somewhere in the deck. Chandra would have been pretty good if we didn't have to put her on the bottom due to mulligan into 6 cards. So Historic is a little bit of a mess, I guess. There are so many decks. They do know we can double block this. What, do they have another one? There's our combo. Wipe the board and then hit them for 6 and gain 6 life. This is why we play these creatures. Although we need one more Brash Taunter to make this work. Or the goat. Of course we don't. Why all these lands? I guess we can't attack him. If we pay odd mana cost on this, it shouldn't kill our guys if we paid an odd converted mana cost. So like 7. Could pay 7 mana to deal 5 damage to everything. But we're probably just gonna attack first. Okay, we can't attack first now because they can just block and kill one of our guys. So if we pay 7, this guy should survive, I believe. Oh, Solar Brace doesn't work. So let's hit everything for 5. Yeah, so 7. What? Oh, without flying. Oh, so we can't kill this guy. Well, that's the end of this game, I guess. Yep, that is the end of this game. So this card is not so good against flyers. And of course they happen to have one flying card, because as usual the opponent must have the one card that actually works against our deck. The same way they had the Eliminate for the goat, they had the Grasp of Darkness for our goblin. I mean, they are playing mono black, but why would you want to play Grasp of Darkness when we could play Cast Down or something else in Historic to deal with more creatures? We don't know. If we keep this, what's the chance of us drawing a plains in the first 3 turns? No comment. So 3rd turn goat. Third turn goat. Perhaps we can go for a 4th turn goat as well. But they might have board wipes. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's an aura deck. It's an aura deck, but we can't kill it right now. We need a power. We need a power to be bigger than the toughness, or to be the same as the toughness. So we can Solar Blaze or Justice Strike it. In the meantime, I guess we can Deafening Clarion to make our guys bigger and gain some life. Yeah, we definitely need to Deafening Clarion to kill the other guy and gain 8 life. Oh, actually we can kill this too now, because it took 3 damage. So board the wipey, which is English for we wiped their board. So do they have Shatter the Sky? No, they have Seal Away. And they have Prison Realm, because why wouldn't they have the exact 2 cards that can actually deal with our creatures on the same turn? Why would they not have it? Okay, how are they gonna deal with Chandra now? They have another Prison Realm? No, they're gonna gain life. Of course they have Banishing Light, because why wouldn't they have it? Unfortunately this only deals 4, so none of these kill their stupid wall things. But at least the one emblem kinda counters this ram. So we need 1 more mana so we can actually do this for 5. I think we just lost the game. Yeah, we can deal with the 8-13. I mean, we have this, but we need them to have a... And this is only a sorcery. We need them to have a power higher than toughness, which for some reason it's not happening. So we can get Chandra out to make another... I think we should play Planar Chaos. I mean, not Planar Chaos, but whatever the planar thing is that destroys everything in play. I think we should play that in this deck. If we had our Goblin, we could block this, and they wouldn't have any good attacks. But of course, this game, when we actually need our Goblins, we haven't drawn our Goblin. Yeah, sure. Of course, you must have the... It's unbelievable. 3 different cards, 3 turns in a row. Exactly the answers that they possibly need to deal with our deck. It's just unbelievable. And people think that, oh, it's just bad luck or good luck. It's really difficult to believe. They had the answers in a row. So we could try to put the 6 mana remove everything spell. I mean, destroy everything spell in the deck. Planar Cleansing. So we're gonna take this Magma Quake out because it's not doing so much for us. And we're probably gonna take 1 Chandra. I think 2 are enough. And play Planar Cleansing. Because we can get to 6 mana. And sometimes we do want to wipe the board of everything. Of course, our Goblin wouldn't die. Haktos also doesn't die. No, actually he dies because it's destroy, it's not damage. But our Goblin doesn't die. No, we can't keep this hand. Of course we have it in the opening hand. I guess we can keep this hand. But so far is literally not doing good for our testing. We thought this deck would do better. What is this, goblin deck? Okay. I mean, if the meta game is full of goblin decks, we should theoretically beat them. We should theoretically beat all the goblin decks, unless we get mana screwed, as usual. But if we don't, we should be fine. So even this, I mean, everything in our deck basically goes against the goblin deck. We have lots of removal, this thing doesn't die to burn, and we don't have to block with it. Even if we block, they would have to pump their creature to beat us. They can't burn it. Sure. And this is where it starts to get worse and worse for them. As long as they don't get the 6 mana Muxus out, the goblin decks basically don't have a chance against our deck. Because that's what we built the deck, that's why we run so many board wipes. So we could try to run Banishing Light for planeswalkers, but so far we haven't seen that many planeswalkers. It's kind of strange. We've only seen one Teferi all these games. I guess we can try this. Maybe we want to scry first. Storm's Wrath. We don't need it because we have Deafening Clarion already. I guess now we can get another mountain. What is this, another field deck? Why? What is with all these field decks? I guess we're going to code odd. Even though the zombies are even, but our Deafening Clarion is odd, so we don't want to kill our creature with a Deafening Clarion. Guess the opponent just doesn't want to cast any creatures. Or they probably don't have. They're gonna cast Yorion, I guess. No, 3. Yay! So this guy also doesn't die to Deafening Clarion. Of course they have Liliana when we have 2 creatures out. Because why would they not have Liliana? Unbelievable. And now of course we don't draw our 5th land. Yeah, we're not even gonna continue with this game. There's no way for us to remove Liliana. The question is, how do these decks actually survive against the goblin decks and other aggro decks? That is what we need to worry about. Actually, we do have planar cleansing, but we don't have in our hand that we need to draw 2 more lands to planar cleanse. That would take too long. If we had the 5th land and we got the goblin out, we might have kept playing that game. But there's not much point. I mean, it just feels bad when the opponent just draws the 1 card in their deck that can actually, you know, work against our deck because we only had 2 creatures and they make us sacrifice the 2 creatures. It just feels really bad. What is this deck? More enchantment decks? Life gain? Okay. And of course we have to get mana flooded now. Straight up from mana screw into mana flood. That's fantastic, but we have drawn 4 lands in a row, 5 lands in a row. And we haven't drawn any Justice Strikes or the other thing which can kill this thing easily. Storm's Wrath is not big enough to deal with this. So we have 1 turn to draw 1 Justice Strike, which we have 4, and the other the Solar Blaze, which would wipe the opponent's board. What? Why would they not attack? Okay, in this case... Are we gonna block? No, let's just attack. I mean, they can hit us for 12. Doesn't matter. Next time we can get our Goblin and we can block this forever and ever. No, they're gonna make flyers. Oh, there's Justice Strike. So let's just Justice Strike this now. So we don't have to worry about making a mistake and losing. Johnny can gain life, I guess. Okay. I guess we can cast Chandra and wipe the board next time. So let's wipe the board and then hit a Johnny and kill a Johnny. And then it should be probably game over. As I said, we have so many tools against creature decks. Mono white or mono red or even mono green. Just a lot of tools that we can deal with them. Yeah, let's attack them. They should just consider this point. Oh, they don't want to concede. I guess we'll have to get our Goblin out. Wait, how are we at 1? Let's wipe the board. Let's attack. Let's get our guy out and play the land. And yeah, it should be game over now, unless they have a creature with haste in mono white that we don't know about. Wonderful. So we play so many games, we actually have not even advanced. We haven't advanced 1 game in 1 hour of testing with this deck. There's not much that we can change actually. As you can see, when we play against creature decks, especially goblin decks and you know, even against the mono green deck, we should have won if we didn't make a terrible mistake, and they top decked the best 2 cards in the deck. I mean, same card but 2 copies. We can deal with those decks easily. What we can't deal are Field of the Dead decks, because we don't have land destruction. And we are not an aggro deck, so we are not fast enough to beat them. That is a problem. Another aggro deck, and again we are stuck on 2 lands because we kept a 2 land opening hand. And of course we don't manage to draw a 3rd land the first 2 turns. I mean, these decks are like almost auto win for us. As long as we get our lands, you can cast Deafening Clarion and all the other board wipes. Sure, hit us for 1 damage. Nope, no 3rd land, because why would we get a 3rd land to actually win the game? It seems every time we keep a 2 land hand, there is a very high percentage that we don't draw a land for the next 2 or 3 turns. So basically the game is trying to ask us to mulligan a 2 land hand, which should be keepable in almost any deck. Yes, they deal damage, we can Justice Strike 1, but we take 2 damage from the other one. I mean, we would have had a blocker already by now if we didn't miss the 2 land drops. Another land drop miss. Okay, let's just Justice Strike this guy. So we missed 2 land drops now, and we do have 24 lands. Opponent probably only has 18 lands. Unbelievable. We have a blocker now, but I guess they have a lightning strike. They can just lightning strike it. They can't Wizard's lightning, but they can lightning strike it. They can just burn our face, I guess, because we haven't even hit them. Can we get a land next turn? I mean, we have to start to attack them. Nope, no land. Okay. So let's start to attack them and Justice Strike this thing. So if they have another burn spell, they have to burn us now. I mean, they could draw another Haste guy, but they already played 3 out of 4. So what's the chance they have another one in their deck? What's the chance we can get our 4th land? Yay! So the biggest damage we can do is with Haktos. So we have to get a mountain and get Haktos out this turn. Although if we get a goat, we could Storm's Wrath next turn and make our goats really big. So actually it might be a good idea to get the goat out, because next time we can Storm's Wrath and make them 4/4s. I mean 4/7s. What's going on with the opponent? I mean, they're not getting lands either, but their deck should work on 2 lands. Yeah, they just burn our face. So, if we Storm's Wrath, we're gonna kill this guy, but if we don't, we just hit them for 6. If we Storm's Wrath, we can hit them for a lot more. Oh, we are 1 away. Okay. Well, if they draw a burn spell, we are dead. I mean, a 3 burn spell, not a shock. Yeah, so the reason we survived this game is because the opponent also got mana screwed on 2 lands. If they had 3 lands, we would have been dead. The same time, if we had our 3 lands on turn 3, not turn 5, we probably would not have been dead. So we don't know exactly what to say in this situation. I mean, their deck can do more with 2 lands. They almost killed us than our deck can do with 3 lands. At the same time, as I said, they probably play 18 or 17 lands in their deck, while we play 24 in ours. What? Not even going to ask what kind of deck we're playing against now. It's like every single deck is completely different. Okay, so they like to gain life. We like to do nothing. I guess we have to cast him. I mean, we do have planar cleansing now, so he can kill, I mean, destroy everything on the board except for him. So let's get him out. Probably next turn we can get a second one of him out, and then we can planar cleansing. Yes, 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 keep gaining life. We're gonna attack them for 6 anyway. Shatter the Sky also doesn't kill him either. No, they kill our Haktos. Okay. So I guess we get another one out, and then as soon as we draw a 6 land, we're gonna wipe the board. Because they're gonna get lots of treasures. Well, let's hope we top deck a land. Good game. What are they good gaming about? They literally have no way of dealing with this. Unless they also play planar cleansing. 20 damage? Okay, so they're gonna take 40 damage to their face. Well, they kill themselves. Why do people do these things? We don't know. So I guess they wanted to ramp to Star of Extinction and then wipe the board. Except that we had the one creature in play, which they probably have nothing in the deck to deal with him. They have to exile him, which they probably can't. That's why they say good game. There's nothing for them to do against him. So the question is, how do we deal with Field of the Dead decks? That is the question. Another enchantment deck? Sure, we don't mind multiple lightning strikes. I mean, we have to start killing these things. Probably this thing first. But we still got the chance. I mean, we do have planar cleansing now for late game against this deck. They have to suck it. I mean, I guess we could have used lightning strike again. If they make it too big, we can't do anything against it. Except, well, we can block it. This is even casting cost. I guess we can get a blocker out. And then our Brash Taunter. But I mean, they can suck this and give you protection from white. But I mean, this also protects our guy from Storm's Wrath, which we can do to kill everything else. As soon as we get our 4th mana again. And then we guess we have to wait for planar cleansing to kill this. Until then we have to block it as long as it doesn't fly. Okay. So let's wipe the board of everything. I guess next time we can cast our Taunter to start blocking this. We need a 5th land, because we need to have 2 blockers against this. And then we need planar cleansing to wipe the board. Yeah, this deck is definitely annoying. I mean, they made a 9/9 in 1 turn. No. I guess we have, this guy can block for 1 turn. Where is our 5th mana? We need to get this guy out ASAP. Because then they have to literally stop attacking. If they attack, we just hit them back. But they have no good attacks this turn. Next turn, unfortunately, we have to attack with Haktos and he's going to die. Okay, enough with the enchantments already. Come on, 5th mana next turn. We need a plan that doesn't come into play tapped. Well, I guess we got our wish. Gonna have to die. Oh yeah, they can't block it. He doesn't die. Okay. So now they can't attack us. They literally can't attack us. But if they make this up to 25, we're just gonna fight it with the Brash Taunter and kill them. What are they doing? So it's basically game over, unless they have a way to exile our Brash Taunter. Which doesn't look like it because they're tapping out. Oh no, they are flying. Never mind. Never mind. Well, if we got this 1 turn earlier, if we had the mana, we could have had it fight. They got flying now. Whoop-de-doo. It's ridiculous. I guess planar cleansing is not enough. And we didn't even reach 6 mana even if we had it. Yeah, I guess we play one more game and see how we do. So far, with all the mana problems and all the random draws, sometimes we have too many goblins, sometimes we have too many Chandras. It seems like the deck is just not competitive enough in best of one. I mean, we have lost to a variety of decks. Even some decks we should not have lost to. We could change lightning strikes to something else. Something that exile creatures. Maybe Banishing Light. But we are under the impression that Historic has a lot of goblin decks. Or other aggro decks. And so far we haven't faced many of those. Perhaps we will change the lightning strikes to Banishing Light. And but then we have to take the planar cleansings out because we don't want to kill our own Banishing Lights. And we do have a lot of 4 mana, I mean 3 mana spells. We might have to play one less of these Venturers. Maybe only 3. Come on, Goblin deck, let's get it over with. Do we want them to sacrifice Goblin for mana? No, we don't. Okay, what is taking so long? Just this Goblin is dead, no attacks, make a token. And we're probably gonna try to cast our Goat next turn. So once we get 4 mana we can Storm's Wrath the board and Goat gets bigger. And so on and so forth. I mean, this Goat alone is good against burn spells, it doesn't die. What are they doing? Okay, so cast another Goblin. Okay. Yeah, excellent. That was just fantastic. Okay, so next turn we can Storm's Wrath. So hopefully they cast a few more Goblins this turn. So we can board wipe everybody. I mean, the Goblin deck is fun to play, so we thought there's lots of Goblin decks in best of one. That's why this deck should basically eat the Goblin decks alive. And that's why we went with this deck. Let's get a plains. Let's Storm's Wrath everybody, bye bye. Let's attack for 5. I guess if they have 1 land they can cast Krenko next turn, but he doesn't have haste. So we don't really care. And they have no other goblins for them to make a whole bunch of goblins. So let's get this guy out and give him protection from Even. So he has protection from Chandra. I guess we can Justice Strike Krenko. We don't need to Justice Strike this guy. I mean, once they get Krenko out, we have a chance to respond before he can tap to make goblins, so we can Justice Strike him then. And then they're just gonna be left over with this guy in play. I guess they don't want to cast Krenko yet. Either way, it's fine for us because this guy can block this. And once he hits 6 mana, we can get Chandra and wipe the board again. Which I guess is gonna be next turn. Do we need Lightning Strike? Sure. It's funny, Goblin deck is staying back for protection. Actually, we could have Justice Striked our goat. We could have Justice Striked our goat to make it 10 and hit them for 10. It would have been game over. Okay, that was a mistake. This game should have been over. Anyway, they're probably gonna try to get Krenko. What is this? Why are they playing black in a Goblins deck? Yeah, get Krenko out, and then we can Justice Strike the Krenko. Yeah, it should have been game already. We should have Justice Strike this. So they have to attack us this turn. We have one blocker. And they are dead on our turn. Do they have Muxus? If they have Muxus, we're dead. If they don't have Muxus, I don't know what they're doing. They have to deal 21 damage because we're 18 and we have a 3-3 blocker. Okay, so everybody gets pumped. So we block one guy, we take 6, 10, that's 16 so far. They have to do 2 more damage. But if they keep sucking blockers, it's not gonna be enough. That's only 16 damage. Yeah, we're at 2. I mean, we should have already won this game, unless they have a burn spell. Oh, they don't. So that was the end of that. So let's change the Banishing Light in the deck. Let's change the Banishing Light and see how that works. For one game. So we're gonna take out the 2 planar cleansing. And take out 1 lightning strike and take out 1 venturer and play 4 banishing lights. So this way we have more answer to planeswalkers and all those enchantment creatures. I mean the creatures that get enchanted, we can banishing light them and all the enchantments fall off. I mean this is a true mid-range deck. 2 lands again? Okay, let's keep our fingers crossed. Of course, we always have Brash Taunter in the opening hand. Someone should keep track of all these games we play, maybe 10 games or more than 10 games so far. We have Brash Taunter basically 80% of the opening hands. And Chandra maybe 50%. And we only have 3 of her. In fact, I think we had this exact opening hand a couple of games ago when we couldn't draw the third hand. Mono green, okay. So here we go again. Can we draw our third land next turn? Or we have to suffer? We need third land and Deafening Clarion here, and it's basically game over. Not this land. Okay, we might have to take these lands out. I guess we can Storm's Wrath next turn. If the Pel Collector doesn't get bigger than 4. Which with this guy out is quite possible. Okay, so we could take out the 2 Temple of Triumphs, I suppose. Just play 3 Fabled Passage. Of course they have more counters, because why wouldn't they? I mean, these 2 guys should have been there already. So we're gonna take 5 more damage. We can cast a blocker. Unbelievable. I mean, this is why we play Deafening Clarion for 3rd turn. To actually be able to cast it on 3rd turn. So yeah, it's game over. Of course, the 3rd land that we needed to come untapped was a temple. Because why wouldn't it be? We only have 2 in the whole deck. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so that game didn't count. There's no way we should have lost that game. If the temple was another land, we could have definitely Clarion the 2 creatures and they would have no creature for the 3rd turn. I mean, that's exactly the type of deck that our deck is built to beat. Of course, now opponent goes first. We have Chandra in opening hand again. As I said, 50% or 60% of the time we have Chandra in the opening hand. I guess second turn we can get a mountain with this, since we have no second turn play, and we have to get ready for turn 4 Storm's Wrath. Also, Banishing Light is also necessary against Phyrexian Obliterator in mono black. So it's a good thing it's in the deck now. Let's get our mountain. I would have to say the opponent is playing mono black aggro. However, they have 2 lands and they have no creatures, so it's not aggro. It's probably a mid-range or control deck. Or it's not even mono black. Okay. So this is the other situation where Banishing Light is very important. Against random things that normally we have no way of dealing with. Simulacrum is fine. Yes, unlimited land. So let's get our goats out to prepare for a Storm's Wrath to make our goats big. But they are playing mono black, so they can probably destroy our creatures. Interesting. Can we just not draw? Can we just not draw lands? Something big is coming out. Ulamog, mono black Ulamog. Yeah, because why wouldn't they have mono black Ulamog? So yeah, the Banishing Light is also good against Ulamog, I guess, if we draw another one, but of course not. Chandra doesn't do anything against Ulamog. We can catch Chandra and deal 6 damage to the goat to make it a 11-11. But they're at 14. So I don't see how we can win this game. What, another Ulamog? And Ugin! Of course, why wouldn't I have Ulamog and Ugin mono black? How do these decks actually survive against aggro decks? Like, goblins should have eaten them alive by now. And Gonti, yeah, no thank you. It's game over already. Because we have to mana flood. Okay, let's give Banishing Light one more try. Oh, there's no ramp in red, I suppose, red and white, for us to actually ramp into our own Ugin. That was just like ridiculous. Mono black Ulamog and Ugin, and they did nothing for the first 5 turns. I mean, we didn't do anything either. So if they were actually playing against an aggro deck like mono green or goblins, how would that deck even survive in the first 5 turns? I mean, they didn't do anything. They didn't kill any of our creatures. And of course we have Brash Taunter and Chandra every opening hand. And yes, we do have 4 of these, but I believe Chandra is down to 2 now. So how do we have her every opening hand? Nobody knows. Inexplicably. I think this game is gonna have to be our last game. I think we learned enough about Historic with this deck. And it's obviously not gonna do much in best of 1. I mean, for somebody that has better luck than us with drawing cards and not drawing the same crazy cards all the time, maybe he would win more games, but for us he's not gonna do it. And I don't know how we managed to play the Field of the Dead decks. I believe the first 2 or 3 decks we played were Field of the Dead decks, and then we haven't played one of those decks for the last hour or so. There's a lightning strike target for us. I guess this is another control deck with Teferi. But unfortunately for our opponent we have nothing to cast. And we actually do have Banishing Light for Teferi. We actually have Storm's Wrath for Teferi as well. If we get our 4th land. More Teferis, okay. I guess... yeah, we play Haktos. Please not 3. Yay! Okay, so Teferi can't bounce him. So they have to board wipe? Artefact. Oh no, it's 2. Okay. Of course they will have to draw. How does this happen? Like the opponent gets the exact card, the perfect card that can actually kill our creature. Can you actually believe this? It's 2 again, okay. So they have another Heartless Act? Because the Teferi doesn't do anything, okay. So they're probably gonna wanna draw a card. They can't bounce it. It's protection from everything but 2 mana, so they need another Heartless Act. So they screwed up, okay. They screwed up. This also doesn't do anything. So we can actually Storm's Wrath now. So they have to be forced to cast another Teferi next turn. Which we can attack, or we can Banishing Light it. Yeah, this thing can't. They literally need Heartless Act again. I keep searching for it. So we're gonna have to kill this Teferi. And I think they can't do much about Chandra. So let's start to make emblems. This is a pure Teferi deck? Like, yeah, it's pure Planeswalker deck. Super duper friends. All they have are Planeswalkers. Eliminate? What does Eliminate do? It doesn't kill this and it doesn't kill this. Oh, they have the Elder spell, because why wouldn't they have the Elder spell, okay. But what does Eliminate do? What? Okay. This... Anyway. They can't even block our Haktos. Oh, they can? Oh, it's 2 mana. Oh, okay, we screwed up. We forgot it's 2 mana. Well, they can't get rid of this guy either. Ah, that was terrible. We should have Banishing Light the fairies. We forgot it was 2 mana. We kept thinking it's 4 mana, but the spell is the 4 mana part. We shouldn't Banishing Light the Fae of Wishes. Because this guy is obviously not as good as Haktos in this matchup. They can't kill it, but I mean they can bounce it with the other Teferi. I guess we have to Banishing Light this Teferi. Because we're not drawing any business spells. And attacking for 1 does not do much. I mean, they have drawn so many cards. Like 10 more cards than us. I mean, we can Deafening Clarion for 3, so we can deal 3 damage to them. But we don't want to do it right now. Stop drawing cards. Also, it's kinda good that they fizzle on this. On this Eliminate. Because the Eliminate actually does nothing against our whole deck, I believe. No, 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 don't. Yeah, Elspeth works on our Brash Taunter. Oh no, they want the Teferi back, they don't want this guy, okay. That's interesting. I mean, I guess the Teferi is more useful for them. Yeah, they can bounce our guy with the other Teferi. Well, that looks like we're not winning this game. I mean, they cast so many Teferis and so many Planeswalkers. It's unbelievable. Literally, the whole deck is just Planeswalkers. Wait, what? Why did they not bounce this guy? Oh no, they bounced this to bring it back, okay. I mean, what we're drawing is lands too. We're not drawing any business spells. If we had another Chandra to make 2 emblems, I guess we could race it. they have no creatures, so this guy doesn't do anything unless we can fight our own creatures. And I believe it's basically game over unless we can draw another Chandra and force 2 emblems and try to raise them, but they do gain life every time they cast Planeswalkers, and God knows they have so many Planeswalkers. Solar Blade does absolutely nothing. We basically need another Chandra here. I mean, look at this. We drew 6, 7 non-land cards, and we have drawn 6, 7 lands, 50% land. So basically, that's the way we are. That's the reason we're losing. Not only is the opponent drawing almost all of their deck, but we also drew 50% lands again. Yeah, so we are done with this testing, unfortunately. We tried to make this deck work, of course, 51% lands, because why wouldn't we get mana flooded? It's too late. So thank you for watching, please click like and subscribe for more daily MTG content videos.